cherry blossoms, Washington, D.C. The cherry blossoms don't last that long, and I don't get it because they're not cherries, but they blossom and they look beautiful. Let's check it out, Washington, D.C. VFC's Travels on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe to The Good Life.
On the way into the city, I stopped at La Fonda Paisa. I have a video of this place before, check it out, but I had to get my Colombian coffee and bandeja paisa, the best Colombian food that I love so much. Excellent. When I got into DC, it was a beautiful, beautiful spring day. The willow trees budding for the spring, the ducks in the pond, the birds were chirping, the wind was blowing gently. It was just absolutely gorgeous down in DC. But what drew me down here was these cherry blossoms. I don't quite get it why they're called cherry blossoms, because there's no cherries that come after the blossom. But for 2-3 weeks out of the season in the spring, you're gonna get these beautiful cherry blossoms that draws everybody out in the nice weather. And look how freaking gorgeous this is. Like, it really is something special to experience in Washington, D.C. Something you gotta do.
There's no life like the good life. Yeah.
After an hour in the car and walking around, I had to take a leak. I looked at all these outhouses, was stoked. They were all shut for the festival tomorrow. Couldn't cope with that. So I had to go over by the Washington Monument. But what a beautiful walk it was on the way through all these cherry blossoms. And you can see it started to snow a bit, but it wasn't snow and snow. It was snow and cherry blossoms. Just a really, really beautiful experience. As I walked up to the monument, all the flags were at half-mast. Secretary Madeleine Albright, the first USA female Secretary of State, had just passed away. So the flags all over the city were at half-mast. And there I got a glimpse of my tax dollars going to die. Down there just gets...
You know what's nice about being here? Listening to all the languages people are speaking, people from all over the world, enjoying beautiful things, not killing each other, not fighting each other, just enjoying the peace and tranquility and freedom. Don't mind those police sirens though. I'm sure it's a peaceful protest.
On a beautiful spring day like it was, you just had to do a walking tour of the city and the National Mall here at the Lincoln Memorial. You remember, I still got PTSD from when Megatron took that seat in Dark of the Moon. But right next to that memorial, in between this and the Washington Monument, you got the World War II Memorial. You got the Atlantic and the Pacific side. Awesome little memorial, worth seeing when you're in Washington, D.C. for sure. And then here you go. Here we mark the price of freedom. Can't help but think of Mariupol and Kyiv. Stand with Ukraine. They're out there fighting for freedom against Vladimir Putin and Russia, who would love to take their freedoms away. But I stand here for a moment in respect to World War II, the last time the world saw its freedom at risk. And then walk over to the Tidal Basin. Whole bunch of cherry blossoms over here. This is like the main spot for the cherry blossoms, is the Tidal Basin. Absolutely gorgeous. You get the views of the Jefferson Memorial down there across the water. And the blossoms are just awesome. Like, if you are in DC, this is definitely something that you gotta come experience. And it was so awesome to see people of all ages. There were families out, there were children out, there were elderly couples out, and this guy painting, appreciating the scenery. Like, this is what life's all about, right? Just appreciating the world, appreciating each other, and the beauty that it has to offer. Wish everybody could think like that. And look at all these tulips and the flowers that they planted. Just to add to the spring feel. Like, it's just gorgeous down here. And then the Martin Luther King Memorial, I was really impressed. This was my first time visiting the Martin Luther King Memorial. It wasn't there last time I was in DC years and years ago. But it's an awesome memorial to a great and memorable and historic man. Very well worthy. So after the MLK Memorial, I started making my way towards the Jefferson Memorial. And you can see there, Reagan National Airport is just down the road from here, so you always get those planes. Reminds me of the old Shea Stadium in New York, with the planes you think just might fall out of the sky and land on top of you. But anyway, the cherry blossoms are beautiful. Here's the Jefferson Memorial now. Great mementos, great words on the side of the building, and when you walk out of the memorial, You get beautiful views across the mall, across the river. Excellent day in Washington, D.C. You gotta love the walking tour. VFC's Travels on YouTube. Subscribe, like, comment. There's no life like the good life. Ah, yeah.